buy a blue ring, whether or not you're going to want to buy arrows. And the potions actually become much more important here because of those red bubbles that you mentioned.
And we are now underway, and we are starting at vanilla level 8. But remember, this is second quest overworld, so you actually cannot burn down that bush. So these runners are going to be trying to find that sword. There's our hint cave, and pretty cheap hints there, 68 rupees. But we can't do anything. Ooh, a breadstick, the recorder on Paratroopa side. Great find. And in second quest, it's proven to be even more powerful than ever.
Yeah, absolutely, because, you know, in the vanilla first quest game, there's only one spot where the recorder is useful, and that, of course, is recorder like where vanilla level 7 is located. Here in second quest, there are all kinds of different places that you can use the recorder to get into. 3 spots in the desert, a couple spots on Death Mountain. You know, there's all kinds. I believe the total is there are 9 spots that the recorder works, including right here where vanilla level 2 usually lies.
Yeah, that's correct. We find behind that lake, it is a casino. So we have found the riverboat gambling site here in Hyrule. Nothing doing for Fred. He's got no cash. Paratroopa going to check this cave, and we got some expensive bombs here. A markup of, it looks like 40%, 28 rupees. And we have a heart container as the ladder item on the coast. People in chat, you know what to do about that.
Get a ladder and never come back for it?
Well, we'll see about that. They may come back for it, you know, in case they want an extra health. Get that little boost going into maybe level 9, or who knows, if this is one of those heart healthy seeds, maybe hope for that magical sword, but we'll see. That's a hit or miss item. They may come back for it, and they may not come back for it.
Yeah, the thing with the heart container on the coast is it's an item that you're never disappointed to have. So if they happen to need to world wrap to get back over here for some reason, getting themselves just walking over the heart container is much easier than having to avoid it if it's something, say, you know, the blue boomerang, or if it's late in the seed, Lord Banana, things like that.
Right, and we have our door repair penalty, but thankfully on Fred's case, he has no money to give to that old man, so the old man is the one that's out of luck, and that's another change in second quest overworld. 10 door repair penalties now instead of 9. And we got some cheap bait at 48 rupees that Paratroopa just discovered.
Yeah, again, the early recorder paying huge dividends here because this allows both of our runners here to check these spots early. And I know when I'm playing either second quest or mixed quest overworld, being able just to mark these off, like I don't need to worry about them, is great, as opposed to having to worry about, do I need to find the recorder? What am I missing?
Boy, and we have our first take any cave on Paratroopa's type, and Paratroopa taking a risk here, seeing the cheap candle shop. He's going to go ahead and take the heart container rather than go for the candle and the extra exploration of Hyrule. So, an interesting strategy on Paratroopa's part. We see the standard 250 rupee blue ring price, but while we were talking about that, we did see some developments both on Fred and Para's side. Oh, we have the red candle as the white sword item, so Paratroopa may have a shot here at a red candle at 4 hearts, so foregoing that blue candle may turn out to be a great play, but unfortunately 4 hearts, not enough to pick up the red candle. You can fire it as many times on the screen as you would like, whereas the blue candle, once per screen only. Gotta go to another screen if you want to fire it again.
Yeah, but the good thing about that is it's fairly close to start, so once we get to the point where they're guaranteed to pick up the red candle, then I wouldn't be surprised to see both of our runners go back and pick that up. The earlier you can have that, the better, and it does turn Paratroopa's little gamble there into one that makes a little bit more sense now.
No question about it. And one thing I did want to mention is that we are looking at a probable poverty seed here because Fred found a small secret and it was worth only 6 rupees. There are 6 of those scattered in Hyrule. Paratroopa found the medium secret as Fred just found one himself. It's only 27 rupees and the range is anywhere between 25 and 40. So resource management definitely going to be an issue here for both runners.
Also, if you take a look at it here, we have some very, very well spread out any roads, which are going to help. We've got one that takes us up to the waterfall area, one that takes us over to the far end of Death Mountain, so we can definitely get good use out of our any roads. And also, I'd like to point out really quickly, for those of you playing a certain game where you consume beverages, go ahead and take your drink or mark off your bingo squares for Poverty Seed.
Yep, absolutely right here. Now, notice another thing. Fred is playing as the Gibdo sprite, so instead of facing off against Ganon at the end game in level 9, he'll be facing off against Zelda and rescuing Ganon. Now, speaking of levels, that's another thing that we have added, another little wrinkle that's been added in the bracket stages. When these runners enter a level that is anything other than level 9, they're not going to know what level they're going to be coming across, so we're going to be playing the game of Name That Level, so what you might see runners do is if they find a Triforce piece, they might pause and find out which Triforce they picked up, and that can give us an indication of what level they just entered.
Yeah, and the other thing to keep in mind with that is with the added flag of enter the dungeon from anywhere, and what I mean by anywhere is any square in the dungeon map that borders the perimeter. Getting an early Triforce piece to learn where you are can definitely help, especially with some of our larger dungeons here, because sometimes just entering from a side or the top wherever can really throw off your navigation.
Nice try, Fred, but you can't pick up that red candle on 3 hearts, and I got a feeling he's not going to be going back for that. He ended up taking the blue candle as his first take any cave, which is the move that you normally would do, in my opinion, when you find your first take any cave. You don't have enough money to purchase that blue candle. So Fred is going to have a leg up on Paratroopa with the exploration here, but neither of our runners have found anything. We're almost 6 minutes in, no levels yet.
I mean, when you don't have a sword and you're still trying to do a lot of exploration, you're not disappointed that you haven't found any levels yet, because I know there are a lot of people who, myself included, who find their early level, and you get very enticed to the fact of, oh, let's see if I can go and explore this without the sword. The biggest thing I found when doing these randomizers is you can find early sword, early levels and all that, but if you take the time to explore those levels, your opponent could be getting more overworld information. And honestly, the information about the overworld and where things are is so valuable in this Pentaforce set of flags that, you know, I would much rather be exploring and getting the information.
And Fred opted not to keep the blue candle, but instead decided to retry the game and ended up going for the heart container instead. But unfortunately, he discovered the bad news that 4 hearts was not enough to pick up the red candle. And as if that weren't bad enough, he gets a Lionel beam to the face, so back to the start he goes.
Yeah, and with both our runners opting to pick up that heart container instead of the candle, that puts us in 2 places. One, the mill secrets that they do get are going to become more important because of that candle price, or finding hearts in dungeons, the same thing. But number 2, and more importantly, they don't have a way to kill anything right now, so any spot that they could explore that has a bomb hole, they can do nothing about that. So they're going to have to come back a little ways.
That's right. Paratroopa going to check the start cave, and we find, wait for it, we've got some cash, and that's a medium secret for 27 rupees for Paratroopa. If he can find one more secret, I mean, yes, he could purchase that candle. I mean, he could purchase bombs. Who knows what these runners are thinking about 7.5 minutes in with no weapon to their name. Paratroopa finding another secret. There's another medium that doubled his money to 54 rupees. And Fred going to be right behind. So we're almost 8 minutes in. These runners are neck and neck. There's really no advantage on either side.
I mean, can they really be neck and neck, though? Does the Gibdo have a neck?
I don't know. Maybe not. Oh, there's the wood sword. Paratroopa is going to be the first to find it, but Fred right on his heels. Less than 8 minutes in. So we've got ourselves a race right now.
Yeah, and Fred immediately going to go ahead and try and kill one of those blue moblins to get a bomb drop here. I don't blame him at all, especially with the price of bombs being as high as they are in this seed. Learn to talk, please, TGE.
Looked like the blue moblins rolled down a little bit. I believe these are 2 HP moblins, so if they get the white sword, they're going to go down in 1 hit. Paratroopa finding a potion shop, nothing doing there. Fred going to check the bomb shop south of the blue ring shop and the vanilla first quest. That's another medium secret. There are 7 of those scattered in high roll. And as you mentioned prior to the start of the race, TG, just the 1 large secret. And Fred just able to squeeze into that staircase, and he finds a small secret for 6.
Yeah, the other thing to keep in mind here now is with this death, Fred's going to have a choice to make here. He's got enough money to go ahead and buy the blue candle, which we're probably going to see him do if he makes a beeline for the desert shop. The other thing to keep in mind here is, are we going to want to buy bombs, or are we just going to want to go continue with the exploration? That, to me, is going to be a big difference maker in what Fred's plan is going to be.
Correction, those blue moblins are a little more squishier than I thought they were. My eyes are playing tricks here. It's 10:12 p.m. 1 HP or 0 HP blue moblin. So if we do find a boomerang, it's possible that those blue moblins could go down in a boomerang strike.
Yeah, and having a enemy like the blue moblin, having such low HP, especially in a seed where the bomb prices are so heavy, is fantastic because it allows you to be able to grind for a Triforce or bomb, excuse me. And speaking of things that are nice and squishy and easy, those quote-unquote scary Stalfos, as you mentioned, not so spooky and scary anymore when they also go down to 1 sword strike.
Unfortunately, it looks like the Lionel Beam came out of the Stalfos before Paratroopa could finish off the room, so he has to go back to start. And for the first time, contestants, name that level.
Based on the location where he's entering, this feels like it could be level 4.
Very well could be 4. We're getting some agreement in chat that this could be 4. I would imagine when Paratroopa does pick up this Triforce from the Stalfos, provided he doesn't get Lionel Beam to death, there's a 5 rupee. Ooh, a clock drop that Paratroopa is just going to avoid here, and there's the Triforce. So let's see if he decides to pause the screen here, and if that Triforce is indeed on the far bottom right corner, this will indeed be level 4.
Fred going to go ahead and pick up his first pack of bombs as well. And Paratroopa just saying, I'm good with getting the Triforce out of there. I'll come back later if I have to.
Absolutely, and we will not get any indication exactly of what level it is. So right now, it's still going to remain unknown at this time. But Paratroopa now going to do some more exploration here. Fred going to have to be careful here. He's down to his last half heart as he's trying to do away with these blue moblins, maybe trying to do a screen scroll to get to where vanilla level 3 would normally be. Paratroopa's got the graveyard in mind. He's going to whistle here to see if he can find a level, and we do find a level.
All right, so that recorder is, in fact, required here. And over in chat, making a very good point, we have the recorder. Why not just nope out of that dungeon right now, and you can come back when you're much better equipped?
Yep, so Paratroopa gonna... Ooh, we've got a squishy manhandler. They go down in 1 wood sword hit. That is nice to have, but you're still gonna lose a heart. But that was a good manhandler fight there. Paratroopa gonna get his compass. He knows where the Triforce is. Fred gonna check this spot, but unfortunately that's a door per penalty. I didn't catch how many rupees that was, but that might have been around average.
It was decidedly vanilla, actually.
It was 20?
Yes, sir.
Alrighty then. So Fred going to check the southwest, and he's going to find the same level that we saw earlier on Paratroopa's side. And it looks like, well, I think Paratroopa might be in a double river room because he cannot get those bombs, unfortunately, from those Gibdos. And without a cable, we can't be too sure.
He's not, because the Gibdos are wrong side. He's either in a reverse C. I think he's in a reverse C room.
Ah, and he gets a key drop. That was a very nice Kanana key there. And we've got a T room, so unfortunately, Paratroopa can't get the Triforce from that side. Now, one rule of thumb we have here in these Zelda Randomizer tournament races here, you are not required to have to do a ladder clip or some kind of block clip or any screen scrolling in order to beat the seed. So there must be some workaround to get to that Triforce.
Also, Paratroopa is an 8.
Ah, so he's going to be looking for 2 items. Unfortunately, that is the transport staircase, so they'll have to look elsewhere for one of those 2 items. So, yep, we've got the vanilla color.
No, sorry.
5, maybe.
5, I forgot, because 5 also has a spot that has an eye.
Red has just found the power bracelet in whatever level we are looking at right now. Again, we still don't know what it is, but yeah, it does look like that Paratroopa is in level 5 right now. Now, if Paratroopa wants to get this Triforce, he's going to have to get through 1 more squishy land mola here, and there's 2 of them down. But he's down to his last heart. Oh, the double knockout!
Wait, land mola? Land mola let itself go.
Oh, man. Troll Handler doing at its finest, and there's a Triforce for Fred. Again, we don't know what level it is yet. It is Troll Handler 2 and Paratroopa Zip, and we have just found out the Triforce.
That's not 4.
I think that was level 6.
That was level 6.
So, Power Bracelet, the item that Fred Coughlin just got, is level 6's item, so very interesting indeed. Fred finding his second Take Any Cave, going to pick up the heart container. He has a 50-50 chance of picking up the red candle if he decides to go back for it. Oh, and 3rd time's the charm for Paratroopa, and he is rewarded with a bomb drop, so now he can pick up his Triforce, and that'll be his 2nd Triforce of the game. And again, we do presume that this is level 5. So put it on the board for Paratroopa. He's got 2. Unfortunately, that door per penalty is going to bankrupt Fred. Back to 0 he goes.
Yeah, but Fred did already purchase his blue candle before he did hit the door repair, so at least has something to burn, and he's now going to go ahead and find this level, which again I believe is we've determined this level 5, and a lot of that comes from the two things that we saw. One being the fact there's a void in the map, but two, and the much more distinctive reason why we believe it's level 5 is the placement of the Triforce in the tea room, and yet this is a moat room.
And Paratroopa is found another green level that was behind a one of the grave statues there. And once again, it's time to name that level. So we are down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, and 8. What could this possibly be? We started from the very top of the level here. Now, Fred, as you can see, he's facing off against Lynx because he's playing as the Gibdo sprite. So any Gibdos that are on the screen, they will all get replaced by Link.
Fred also trying to set up the Kanana key here, and he's also going to get it.
Very successful there for Fred, and Paratroopa's playing with the Dodongos here because he wants some extra bomb drops, which he does very nicely. He's got the maximum fodder of 8 bombs. Yeah, this is definitely level 8. Yeah, I mean, you can see the dead giveaway, that little crack there. That's one of the eyes that you can enter. So, yep, definitely level 8 on Para's side.
Yep, so looks like Fred going to go ahead and discover the hilariousness that is the troll staircase here in 5.
Yeah, but you wouldn't have Zelda Randomizer any other way than to have a troll staircase that's going to take you one room away. Now Fred's going to, let's see if he can get the bullseye. No, he was way off target, but he gets it on the second try. A very clean manhandle fight. In fact, too clean. He didn't even get a bomb drop, but he did get the 4 bomb drops, so he's back to his 8 bombs.
Now, Fred's going to go ahead here and explore 5 a little more than Paratroopa did. Now, this is, this is one of those calls with Pentaforce is you can grab the Triforce and go because, of course, we have the recorders. We can come back later, or you can dig and take the time. This is one of those things where I'm going to be very interested to see which one of these strategies works out better. The Triforce and go till you get more tools to come explore, or the explore while you're here.
Paratroopa finding an ugly room here filled with Keese, Pole's voices that do 2 hearts of damage, and bubbles. Thankfully for Paratroopa, it's not the red bubbles that permanently take away its sword, unless you do one of 5 things. That's either get a blue bubble, touch a Triforce, go to a fairy fountain, drink a potion, or I believe it is saving and resetting the game, which is the one that always baffles me. It was one of the newer ones that was discovered in the last tournament, I believe.
Yeah, well, there is, I mean, the one thing we do know for sure is that upgrading your sword does not, in fact, do it.
Yeah, that's right. We saw that earlier. Now, here is going to be one of the items for Paratroopa, because this is a staircase we have not found yet. And did you see that? Those fires went down on a wood sword hit, so a good bomb chance here for our runners.
Yeah, aside from the prices, everything coming up Millhouse here so far.
That is not the item. That is the transport staircase. So he might have skipped that earlier. Yeah, he had skipped that earlier, and he found the other end of it. So now the next staircase, Paratroopa finds, uh-oh, look out for those red bubbles. He dodges them nicely. Meanwhile, Fred here still in level 5 in search of the item, but he's going to go ahead and try to bomb to the right, which he does. The staircase he finds will, well, let's see if he's able to grab this heart container by doing a clip. He does.
Yeah, the spawn location of that river room, actually, you don't need to be able to clip from the bottom side to get it. You can get whatever's there.
All right, so Fred in good shape. He's now guaranteed the red candle if he decides to go back for it. And he's going to go ahead and cut his losses, cash those chips in, pick up the Triforce here. So we're tied up in the Triforce department, 2-2.
Yep, and the reason we're actually cutting out of 5 here is because we're actually ladder blocked from progressing. There is a vertical river room that's actually preventing us from getting into the southern part of the level. Now, with that 6th heart, as you mentioned, Fred does have access to the red candle, which is actually going to have increased value in this flag set because of those red bubbles. It still gives you a consistent way of dealing damage to a good portion of dungeon enemies.
And that level that Paratroopa is in right now that Fred just entered was also recorder blocked. So far, 2 of the levels, you've needed the recorder to get in. Fred finding one of the 3 potential mugger rooms. He does not want to pay any kind of toll. In fact, he can't afford it. So here's one of the items for Paratroopa here in level 8. And what do we have here? The ladder!
Always fantastic to find the ladder, especially less than 20 minutes in. When Fred eventually finds us in level 8, because he's also here, he may choose to go back to level 5 and dig the item out, or he may just say, you know something, I've got the ladder, let's see where we can go with this.
So Paratroopa has pretty much almost full cleared this level 8, so he's still looking for one item, but he does have a couple of clusters of rooms left to go, and he does know where the Triforce is, so I would imagine he's pot committed. He's going to try to find this second item.
I mean, 8 is, 8's actually a smaller dungeon than you would expect for the end game. The reason 8 in the vanilla game is so difficult has less to do with the size of the dungeon and more to do with how you have to get around it. Now, the speed run of it, level 8's like a grand total of 7 rooms, if that. If you want to explore fully 8, though, you have to worry about the connecting staircase and bombing around and rooms of 8 blue darknets. So size-wise, 8's actually a dungeon that you're, pretty happy to explore because you're getting 2 items out of it, and it's not necessarily on the ridiculously huge side.
This room that Fred is in, this might be the second item here. Of course, these double block rooms. Nope. This is it, I believe. No, this is not it. Paratroopa just came from that room.
Yeah, that's the transport staircase. This is the Triforce.
Yeah, that's going to be the Triforce for Fred, but he's going to pass it up for the time being. So right now, Paratroopa looking for that second item. Fred in hot pursuit for both of the items. He knows where the Triforce is. Both of our runners know where the Triforce is here in level 8, as Paratroopa is going to get around these bunnies, wants no part of tangoing with them. And we have seen a lot of Dig Doggers here. You would think this would be level 7.
Ain't no party like a Dig Dogger party, because Dig Dogger party don't stop. And hey!
And Fred is the first to discover the second item, the first on his ledger. It's the red ring, and that is going to quadruple his defense. The damage he's taken is now down to 1/4 the base value. So what a find there by Paratroopa. Or rather, Fred, rather. Yeah, Paratroopa can find it. He'll be good.
The other big thing about getting the red ring here is that's going to mitigate a lot of the pressure on the rupee resources, because you no longer have to save up to 250 to buy a blue ring. So now this makes the resource management slightly easier, and by slightly I mean pretty significantly, actually.
Yeah, because now you don't have to save up for those 250 rupees to buy the blue ring that would just merely double your defense. These runners can now, if they want, purchase maybe some wooden arrows, maybe a potion or 2. So these runners now have choices with what they can do with their money.
Yeah, potion's actually the strongest choice of purchase here if we find the ladder, because of the the red bubbles, not the blue bubbles, the red bubbles.
Paratroopa's going to have to be very careful here. He's found the red ring, but guess what? He's down to his last half arc. He does get the red ring before the Keys are able to snipe him away, and with that, he's going to go ahead and continue and go ahead and grab this Triforce, and that'll put him at 3 Triforce pieces. Fred finds the transport staircase and knows where it connects to, so he does not want any part of it. He's looking for the other staircase that will get him his ladder. So right now, Paratroopa with a small lead on Fred, but again, considering that we don't know where the bow or silver arrows are yet, it is still anybody's contest.
I'm going to go with they're not in 8 and they're not in 6.
Well, we know they're not in 8, we know they're not in 6, and I'm going to say only one of them is in level 9. I've yet to call a race where both of them have been in level 9, but that would be just insane. We'll see what happens. As Paratroopa just has one enemy to go, there's the third Triforce for Paratroopa. He's got it out of level 8, so he'll be the first to exit this level, and he can continue his exploration. Let's find out where he decides to go next.
Yeah, the interesting part of this now is we've already got 3 Triforces, we've got a ladder, we don't have bow and silver arrows. If you get to 5 Triforces before you have both bow and silvers, do you go ahead and start exploring level 9, or do you try and find bow or silvers outside of it?
Well, we saw what happened during the showcase race, and that is runners have actually had to triple dip into level 9 because they figured one of the items, the bow or the silver arrows, would be in level 9, and neither of them were there. In fact, 2 levels were power bracelet blocked, but you had to get the power bracelet out of level 9 in order to get both the bow and the silver arrows. Now, by the way, as we were talking about that, this is a deluxe Poverty Seed TGE, because that large secret that Paratroopa just found is a measly 59 rupees. But
I'm thinking more deluxe in the Wizrobe category, because we've got 6 blue Wizrobes here.
boy, and I sure hope these rolled on the low side because it's not fun. Even with the red ring, they take a lot of hits, and you're losing half a heart if you touch either their bodies or get bopped by their Wizro beams. Now, Paratroopa may want to cash in his chips and try and lock the room, because if he takes a death right now, oh, he has to do it all over again.
You had to say something, didn't you?
Well, commentator's curse, but it's kind of the law of the land when it comes to blue Wizro rooms, and Paratroopa wants no more part of that. Well, he's going to see if he can unlock a yes. No.
Maybe so.
Right. Well, if there's any doubt about this being level 8, you can erase those doubts, because there's your map, the lion shape. So I know when we did the first tournament, you know, when Jamie Evil used to run all of the he was the big runner of the show there. He would always be not convinced that it'd be level 8. You remember those days, right, TG?
Oh, I'm still waiting for the Phantom level 10.
Right. As Fred gets his Triforce out of level 8, what level could Paratroopa possibly be in? This almost looks like level 4, maybe.
Yep, 4. Yeah, definitely looking like 4.
And Fred discovering the not-so-pleasant news that the lone large secret of the seat is 59 rupees. So thank God for that red ring, because, yeah, blue ring would definitely have been off the table. I mean, we're talking little money here. Paratroopa going to try to clear this room that's got a Pole's voice and a blue Wizrobe here. And again, with the red ring, it's going to make this much easier. Of course, you still got those darn bubbles to tangle. But, boy, that bunny got caught into the wall, and you got to feel for him. This could be the item for Paratroopa, and it is the white sword. That is nice.
Yeah, white sword, red ring, that's just absolutely fantastic. Makes, you know, the end game, makes going through level 9 a lot easier, makes going through these levels a lot easier. Killing those Wizrobes going to be, you know, significantly easier. Both these runners have the skill that, you know, just getting the red ring makes it so that, you know, it's I don't want to say easy mode when it comes to going through 9, but definitely killing Ganon, having red ring, having both red ring and white sword. Lots of bacon happening tonight.
With the Paratroopa's case, and there's the Triforce. So already Paratroopa's got 4 Triforce pieces on his side of the board. One more, and he'll be eligible to go into level 9. But Paratroopa's gonna have a big decision to make. If he finds the next Triforce and still doesn't have either the bow and or the silver arrows, it's going to be a big risk for Paratroopa. Well, of course, you know what? We still haven't found where level 9 is. This is interesting.
There is a part of me that wants the next level they find to be level 7, just so their 5 Triforces can be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Oh, that would be a nice little straight there. And, of course, you've got the 9 kicker coming up. And Paratroopa going to check the Armo statue spot. Perhaps there's another level here. And we've got a potion shop. No letter, no business. So Paratroopa's going to have to look elsewhere. Fred's still here in level 4 here. He's yet to find the item, and he is looking to get the Triforce as well to even up that score. Pretty cheap wooden arrows there at 68 rupees. So the next item we find is the bow. We could see Paratroopa making that purchase. And yep, confirmed. Indeed, this is level 4. Fred's found the map.
Yeah, now, of course, here comes the advantage that Fred does have over Paratroopa, and that Fred dug the power bracelet out of level 6. If it turns out that we need that, that's going to be a big advantage.
However, we have found another level on Paratroopa's side in Death Mountain, and this potentially could be his last level before he enters level 9. But again, we're almost a half an hour into this race. We still don't know the whereabouts of level 9, and you're absolutely right, TGE. That power bracelet that Fred has from level 6 could be the difference should level 9 or the bow or the silver arrows be blocked. So Paratroopa finding the Triforce immediately here, and he's already got enough Triforce pieces to be eligible to go into level 9, wherever the heck it might be.
Yeah, but here's the thing, is at this point you, I was going to say you go back in because that looked like it was level 3, but Para just saying, you know something, I'm going to keep exploring. This is a ridiculously ballsy gamble here, just saying, I've got my Triforces, let's go see what level 9 is going to have to offer. This is huge.
This is huge, and if Paratroopa somehow stumbles across the good fortunes that both the bow and silver arrows are in level 9, he's going to win this race.
Well, assuming level 9 is not power bracelet blocked.
Right, and assuming level 9 doesn't play the moniker of the Great Equalizer either, so there's that to consider as well. Paratroopa going to check this bomb spot, does get a heart drop from that blue Lionel, and he's going to discover that it's going to be not a door repair penalty, but instead that was either the hint for the white sword item or where the magical sword is. But because neither of these runners have the book, they're not going to understand what those highlands are going to say. So any hint shops that you see, forget it. You purchase those hints, you're just wasting your money. You need that book.
They speak Chocobo.
Oh, that's what that's from, the later Final Fantasy games. And we've had our bomb upgrade. Unfortunately, Fred finds himself 20 rupees short of purchasing that bomb upgrade for 109 rupees. And it would definitely be a big decision for him because you're getting an upgrade of anywhere between 2 and 6 bombs. And with this being a deluxe poverty seat, I don't know if Fred wants to invest that kind of money for the off chance it could be 6 extra bombs.
And an interesting note here to point out that we do have Qua as our seed mentioning Chocobos, and that was a perfect time to shout out our tracker for this race, Crunchy Chocobo.
Yes, indeed. Make sure you give him a follow. He's done some really good work for us throughout this randomizer tournament. And now Paratroopa is going to go back to the forest, and he's going to do some more exploring here. Because, again, he's looking for level 9, but again, big key right now is that power bracelet. Unfortunately for Fred, he is still in level 4. This has taken him probably a lot longer than he would probably be hoping for, and he's down to his last half a heart. If he gets, well, that was a fortunate heart drop right there, so he's got a little bit of breathing room here. Paratroopa going back for his red candle, so he now has as much firepower against those Gibdos and whatnot as he would like, so that was the reason why Paratroopa went back and going to check this burn bush and find a casino. He's not going to do anything here. Fred just has one more bunny left to go here in level 4, and he's going to get his white sword.
Yeah, now the interesting thing is going to be, because, you know, Fred's here, probably going to go ahead and explore Death Mountain like we saw Paratroopa doing earlier. We're going to come across level 3, which what we assume to be level 3, fairly easily. Does Fred get the Triforce and go, or does Fred continue what he's been doing and just go ahead and explore the level?
Well, he's probably trying to eliminate as many possibilities as he can. Paratroopa's hitting the Gamble-Matic 9000, and he may have hit it once too many times, but we will see as he does find the letter, which indeed is ladder blocked. So if he shows that to a potion merchant, we can find out what the potion prices are, and hopefully for these runners' sake, it's not too expensive because, again, money is super tight as Fred does get his Triforce out of level 4. That is his 4th Triforce piece. Now, I do want to let people know, for those who may have just joined us, Paratroopa does have the 5th Triforce piece. However, we cannot confirm yet where that 5th Triforce is, as Paratroopa finds a Take-Any cave behind the Forgotten Spot, and he's got 7 hearts now.
The Forgotten Spurt? Well, there was potion in there, so did we just jump it out and we're just like champagne celebrating everywhere?
Yes, indeed. In fact, a lot of teams have already spurted out their champagne, so I guess it's a little bit appropriate there. Paratroopa going to check this. He's going to check this Armo statue spot. I don't think we saw that. There was a small secret there, if I remember correct. Yep, 6 rupees. And we are getting a lot of indication that the level that Paratroopa discovered was indeed level 3. So I think we can make a tentative mark on Paratroopa's side that he's got the Triforce out of level 3. If we prove to be wrong, we can, of course, always amend the counter there. So 5 Triforce pieces for Paratroopa, but again, he does not know where level 9 is. Neither does Fred, as he finds an arrow shop and decides not to buy the wooden arrows.
I'm going to go with in Hyrule.
Well, somewhere in Hyrule, it's got to be. Otherwise, Fred's going to be in big, big trouble because, A, he's the creator of the Zelda Randomizer, and B, he won't be able to beat his own seed.
I'm not convinced.
You're not convinced? Well, we'll see what happens here. As Paratroopa's going to burn the bushes here in the dead woods, but going to lose 20 rupees. Here's the play that could give Fred the lead here. He's found level 3. He's going to find an early Triforce, and it's going to be decision time for Fred after he finds that 5th Triforce. Again, he, like Paratroopa, does not know the location of level 9. Hey, TG, for all we know, level 9 could be wrap blocked.
That would be the absolute best. I mean, I always want to see sort of chain reaction seeds, and having a level be raft blocked, you know, level 9 be raft blocked would be fantastic.
Yep, and Paratroopa finding another take any cave to go up to 8 hearts. Both of our runners have 8 hearts, so they're both 2 hearts away from a potential shot at the magical sword. But with both of these runners having the red ring and the white sword, I honestly don't see it on the table.
Yep, there's the confirmation. It's level 3. There's the bottom corner.
Guess what? Fred's going to go back into level 3, and this could be the play that, whether or not gives Fred the lead or gives Paratroopa an even bigger lead.
Yeah, so far, Fred's big advantage, which of course is that power bracelet, has not paid any dividends. And there's that world rep I was talking about from Paratroopa, so he's going to go ahead and pick up that heart.
Yep, it's a good pickup there. Now he's 1 heart away from a potential shot at the magical sword. Fred is going to dig this level 3 here, and he's going to try to find that item. As Paratroopa finds a bomb shop, he'll go ahead. He's got plenty of money. He'll go ahead and spend it on bombs so he can do some coastal excavation.
Yes, of course, we happen to kill a bunch of Pole's voice to continue our progression through 3, which of course means the bows here.
Well, we'll find out. Here are the items we have found so far, 35 minutes in. It's not much. And here's level 9. Paratroopa the first to find level 9, and he's going for it, folks.
I don't blame him, absolutely. You're here, you might as well. You got, 9 hearts, red ring, white sword. You're still looking for 2 items. You might as well see what you can come up with.
Absolutely. There's one of the 6 sets of transport staircases. So Paratroopa, at the same time, this is good because he's going to know the layout of level 9. Unfortunately, this could be one of those dead-end staircases, and I think Paratroopa, well, no, he's gonna play with his bombs. And I think it turned out, nope, he did find a bomb hole, not a complete dead end. So he's going to know where Ganon is. If he hears a roar, he'll be adjacent to where Ganon is, 1 room to the north, south, east, or west. The other thing he's going to be looking for is a shutter door, a single shutter door room like this one with these blue dart nuts. If he clears this room and that shutter door does not open, he has found the location of Zelda. Now, there's also 3 old men with 4 potential hints, but because we don't have the book, they're not going to mean anything to these runners.
Yeah, and the other big thing right now is, even if we don't find Bo and Silvers in 9, even if we find neither one of them here in 9, Paratroopa is going to have, what we were talking about at the very beginning of this seed, much more information. Because, this is vanilla dungeon shape, so that's fine. But knowing where the bomb walls are, where the bomb walls aren't, what staircases to take, having a path potentially to Ganon or to Zelda, that's going to be absolutely huge for Para.
So far, Paratroopa finding a fcoughlin, yet he's going to avoid the locked doors for the time being. He does have 5 keys, which is a fair amount, but as we've seen in past randomizers before, those keys in level 9 can be drained rather quickly. Here's an orange lamole. This potentially could be our item here in level 3 if this is able to push, but these are some beefy orange lamoles. They rolled up high on the HP chart. Yikes.
We got the linguine-sized danger noodles here tonight.
Yes, we do. Vermicelli, not tonight. It is linguine. You better believe it. Unfortunately, that double block is a red herring. Fred will have to look elsewhere. Well, there's your corridor staircase. 10 rupees and the prize. This could be the game changer. What do we have? The book! It is a game changer.
It is, but not in the way we thought. This means now anything that Fred comes across when it comes to old men's or hint caves, we're going to get that information. So that's also huge, because now Fred, if he comes across those old men in level 9 that you were talking about, is going to be able to translate what they were saying.
Oh, shoot.
Ooh, I hear Ganon.
Ooh, and Ganon potentially could be behind that shoot room, and wow, he is very close to solving a piece of this puzzle, and our door penalty is one of my favorite. No soup for you! These super ropes load low. They go down in 1 white sword hit. Paratroopa is still looking for the 2 items here. He's found nothing but transport staircases at this point. So a very intriguing race between these 2 runners so far, finding 5 Triforce pieces early, and Fred finds a new level. And
this is power bracelet blocked here, so if we find Bo or Silvers in here, Fred digging that power bracelet out of 6, this is going to be where we're going to pay dividends here. Fred finding whatever item is in this dungeon, or items, depending what we are, that's going to be huge, because I think this might be 1 based on where we are.
Oh man, if this is level 1, there's 2 chances for Fred to get either the bow or the silver arrows. It wouldn't be something if they were both here in level 1. So yeah, if this is indeed level 1...
This is 2.
Nope, so there's going to be an item on the ground. You may need to full clear it, or it just might be there right for the taking, or some enemy might have it in its belly. So it would behoove Fred to dig out this level to see if he can find out the item, because if it's the bow or the silver arrows, he's going to take a big lead in this race. And that's the beauty of Pentaforce flags, TG.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. You can turn a 20-minute lead into a 20-minute deficit if you make just one wrong play. And that wrong play, of course, in Paratroopa's case, was not digging the item out of level 6.
Oh, to be fair, you find an early Triforce, especially in level 6, you know, I don't blame Para for, you know, just saying, nope, I'm out of here. I absolutely don't.
Oh, not at all. I mean, I probably would have backed out of level 6 too, because it is one of the bigger levels out there aside from level 7 and level 9. But that digging level 6, I mean, Fred took a risk because, you know, a lot of runners probably don't dig out level 6 for the item, but Fred decided to, and that power bracelet, if there's a bow or silver arrows here in level 2, there's another key drop. He's already got 8 keys. You know what? It's going to be the any key. Well, there's the compass.
I mean, that's, you know, the least loud thing you want to...
Oh my! It's the silver arrows! Fred has the bleed!
That is absolutely debilitating for Paratroopa here, because 6, when you're looking for items, 6 is the last place you want to go back to look. I mean, we have the recorder, so we can go back to 3, 5, 6. 6 is going to be the last one of those 3 you're going to look at, just because it's the most linear. There's so many more blocks. So yeah, Fred right now, huge advantage.
Yep, and unfortunately for Paratroopa, he hit the Gamblematic 9000 once too often. Fred playing conservatively, not take any chances. So far, that strategy has paid off in spades. He is in the driver's seat right now, but it's not over yet because we still need to find the bow, and it could be in level 9. If it's one of those level 9s where Fred really struggles with it, anything can still happen. It's still anybody's game, but yeah, Fred has a big lead at this point.
Yeah, I mean, and like you said, this is no way an indication that this race is over, because let's say, for example, Bo's not in 9. That means we have to go find either 1 or 7. So, you know, it could still be one of those anybody's races here.
Oh, no question about it. And there is one of the hints. Unfortunately, Paratroopa won't get any information on it, and he is out of bombs. And again, as you mentioned at the beginning of the race, TG, resource management, and so far, it's really hurting Paratroopa with the bombs. Oh, but the bow's in 9, but it's early into the dungeon if you just make the left-hand turn, so Paratroopa has the other half of what he's looking for. So if Fred finds level 9, he's going to be in great shape.
Yeah, the thing to worry about, though, is normally in a level 9, when you have 2 options like this, especially when you have 2 options like this to go left or up, I don't necessarily know the exact statistical analysis on it, but I know a majority of runners, myself included, when given the option to go up or left, will choose to go up first, simply because you're covering more ground with more rooms to hear Ganon or potentially find Zelda. By going up, it gives you much more rooms to explore. Going left there is not something a lot of people will do unless they're given an only one choice to do so, or you don't have the option to go up. So it wouldn't surprise me in the least to see Fred go up first when we get to level 9.
No question about it right now. Now, of course, Fred still has to find level 9. We know where it is. And Paratroopa, because he's out of bombs, he's going to back out of level 9. Now, the best thing that Paratroopa could do is go to another level. But I got a feeling he's going to be farming some bombs. He wants to continue to explore level 9. There's the magical sword on Fred's side, and it is recorder required. Unfortunately, he is 1 heart short for even having a chance to pick up that weapon that'll do 4 hit points of damage. And as I kind of suspected, TG, it looks like Paratroopa is going to fill up on bombs. I think he's going to go back to 9. Now, Fred's found a new level again.
Yeah, this could either be 1 or 7 here, but the big thing for Paratroopa is that, did you see what happened when we did hit the Kill-O-Matic on that Patra?
What happened there?
The door didn't open.
That means we found Zelda's room, so he knows where Zelda is, he knows where Ganon is, and he has found a potion shop, and we found out that the prices are, at least the red potion, the Coke, is a little bit below its vanilla price. The Pepsi is a little bit above, so definitely a Coke day here, but not really much of a break in terms of the fact that this is a deluxe poverty seed. But Paratroopa, yeah, he is not going to gamble on the second item. It's going to be the correct move, but again, he needs to go back to level 6 and get the power bracelet, and then check power bracelet spots. But meanwhile, Fred is trying to dig out items here, and this, I believe, is level 7.
Has to be level 7. And Paris found 1.
Wow, so he has found a level where he thinks he has a good chance of finding the silver arrows. Unfortunately, he is going to come up empty. Fred finding a heart container, he now has a 20% chance of picking up that magical sword if he decides to go for it. He's right there. He might as well take a crack at it.
Yeah, if you're going to walk by it, you absolutely take a crack at it, but considering where it is, you're not going to come back here afterwards.
Yep, so Paratroopa is probably, I'm going to call it right now, I think we're going to see double boomerangs here in one. There's a heart container. That's going to give him, is 10 hearts enough? Unfortunately, no.
Yeah, it looks like Fred was adhering to the quote-unquote rule of 6 there, taking about 6-7 rooms to take a look at. And this is one of my favorite tricks here in Second Quest Overworld. If you don't know how to clip into trees, you have to exit and re-enter that screen to get into that level. However, if you can clip, not a problem. I love that.
Paratroopa doing the pirouette to get rid of that locked door to the north, but unfortunately for Paratroopa, Fred's about to discover level 9 in one screen.
Yeah, going to get a refill on the bombs, and here's going to be the big thing. Let's see what happens when we get into level 9. Does Fred opt to go north, like statistics say, or is Fred going to go left? And if he goes left, that's the bow, and that's just, you know, I don't want to say game, set, match, but game, set, match.
You could say game, set, and match. Nope, he's making the percentage play, as you kind of suspected. He is going to go north first, so this is going to buy Paratroopa some time, but the longer it takes for him to find the 2 items out of level 1, the less time that Paratroopa is going to have to try to find level 6 and that power bracelet. Ooh, he up and 8 immediately. Is he going to make the left-hand turn now?
I think he has to because he doesn't want to waste his bombs.
Wow, and he is going to be rewarded immensely, and yeah, you're right. This is game, set, and match. Paratroopa is going to find this item in level 1, and Fred, being the creator, he is solving this game. We find the raft, which we were, of course, we were all hoping that maybe the raft would lead us to level 9, and that would have been huge for Paratroopa, but unfortunately, we know that that raft is not required to beat this seed.
No, and now it's just a matter of Fred finding Ganon. Although Fred doesn't know that Zelda is pretty much right there, as you said at the start. And there's the second item in 1. It was the wand.
Ah, so a very quick level 1 for Paratroopa, but he does not come up with the prizes he needs in order to defeat the beast. He is still needing the silver arrows, and before we get any closer here, I'm going to go over an item recap very quickly. Level 1 has the raft and the wand. Level 2, the silver arrows. Level 3, the book. Level 4, the white sword. We do not know what's in level 5. Level 6 has the power bracelet. Level 7, we don't know what the item is there. Level 8 has the ladder and the red ring. Level 9, one of the items is the bow. The Armo statue item is the recorder. The ladder item on the coast is the heart container. And the white sword item was the red candle. So the 3 items left in play are the 2 boomerangs and the any key.
Which, of course, means we've got, you know, the any key is going to be the item ladder blocked in 5.
Yeah, probably. So we'll see what happens there. And Paratroopa is making the whistle stop right here.
Yep, that's level 6.
It's going to be the right play for Paratroopa, but it could potentially be too little too late. But if he can find those silver arrows fast...
Fred's found Ganon.
Ladies and gentlemen, here's Zelda. We need 8 hits at the maximum to take down Princess Zelda. A Zelda hug will cost him 1 heart. There's the stun lock in 4, 5, 6. It's a very low HP Zelda. Down goes the princess. We've got Royal Jelly, and Fred's got the Triforce of Wisdom. So all he has to do is find the shutter door that automatically opens, and Fred is going to be a winner here. We'll see how long it takes for Fred to find that shutter door.
No, I was mistaken. Paratroopa went into 5. I thought 5 was the one in the Dead Woods, so nope.
Yep, 5 is the one in gray. I've got that written down. So, yep, Paratroopa is not in the level that he needs to be in. And, yeah, let's go ahead. Well, we can't say game, set, and match yet because we know how Zelda, or in this case, Ganon, likes to be a great hide-and-seek champion. We'll see how long it takes Fred to find his Ganon here.
Nope, but Paratroopa is going to go ahead and get by. This was the ladder block that kept Fred out of here earlier now. So we're going to go see, at this point, if you're Paratroopa, when we know there's a lot more he has to find, but the best option for him here is definitely the any key.
Absolutely. So Fred in the west part of level 9, again, he's looking for that shutter door that automatically opens, and he will move on to the winner's round of 16 if he's able to hold on. unfortunately.
The Paratroopa hitting that red bubble.
Yes, indeed. And this potentially could be the item. And, well, he has the wand, thankfully, so he can take care of these Stalfos. If this pushes, we have our item. We have our item here in level 5. What do we have? It is scrap metal, and Paratroopa says,
Yeah, now it's going to be interesting to see where Para goes next. I think the proper play is well, I was going to say 3, but I think we just missed on a whistle there. But yeah, 3 would be where I would be going next. We don't know where 1's at. We don't know where 7's at. We have 2 options left to find, 3 and 6. Oh, we're going to 6 instead. Interesting.
He is going to go to level 6, so Paratroopa making the right play. And again, it's going to buy. And Fred is still not in the right vicinity to find Ganon here, so it's going to buy Paratroopa a little bit of time. So I think we still might potentially have a race here, folks.
Yeah, but once Paratroopa finds the power bracelet, he still has to find where level 2 is.
That's right. He doesn't know where level 2 is, so well, we'll see what happens there. I mean, again, level 9 is known as the great equalizer for a reason, but yeah, it's going to take a doozy of a level 9 for Fred to not win this, but anything can still happen.
Yeah, biggest thing for Fred, though, is the more these staircases take him away from the right side of the dungeon, the better off Paratroopa is.
Yep, and Fred finds...
However, that up A is going to be huge. If Fred goes north, he's got it.
Yep, because it's one of those deaths or up and A's that's going to take into the right path. So yeah, here it comes. That shutter door automatically open for Fred, and Fred is going to advance to the round of 16 here in the winner's bracket. Get your GGs out for Fred. His hot streak continues, and he finishes at around 51 minutes. Boy, what a job Fred just put up tonight.
Yeah, the official SRL time there is 51 minutes and 1 second.
Wow, very, very good run. And in the end, it just came down to gambles here because both of these runners routed extremely well. It's unfortunately, Paratroopa made one incorrect gamble, and it burned him.
Yeah, but at the beginning of the game there, you know, I don't blame Paratroopa. Digging 6 is not the place you want to be.
Yeah, no question about it, but sometimes it happens. I mean, level 6 for these two is like level 7 when you're facing Crystal Saber. You dig level 7, you lose. You don't dig level 7, you lose. So Fred is now 2-0 in the series against Paratroopa when it comes to the bracket stage flag. So Fred, again, moving on to the round of 16 here in the winner's bracket, and we do have Fred in the commentator's booth with us. GG, my friend, you are on a roll. You advance to the round of 16 here in the winner's bracket, and it came down to one decision. You diving into level 6 for that power bracelet, chain reaction to get to level 2 that had the silver arrow. So go over up this seed with us.
It was a tough one, especially early, because I just couldn't find any levels anywhere. And took a long time to get to that. Well, it wasn't too long to get to the store, but it felt like it was really long. And then once I got into level 6, you know, at any point early on in these seeds, I try to dig the levels for items because you need them. Maybe 7 I skip out on depending on how things go, but for the most part, you needed to do that. And you know, I found the power bracelet there. I found 5, discovered I was ladder blocked out the item there, had a note of that just in case it came down to that. And with the other items I was finding there, as all of a sudden everything toppled in Death Mountain area. Finding you know, Red Ring and ladder in 9 really helped out. Really helped out with you know, getting the white sword there out of 4 as well, which I thought for a while there I thought I was in 7, and got lucky. That was not the case.
If you're wondering, level 7, its item was unclaimed. We have 2 items that we have yet to discover, and oddly enough, considering that TG's on the call, we don't even get to see Lord Banana.
Oh wow, that's unusual.
The other item was the Any Key.
Ah, okay, I never even found level 1 there, so at least I don't think I did.
Paratroopa did find level 1. That had the raft and the wand.
It could have been useful for some of those enemy sets there. I mean, there weren't too many whiz robes, but book turned out not to be that useful in the end there, but...
Oh, but you didn't need that book. We thought maybe it was going to be an upper hand, potentially, that because Paratroopa had the lead on you because of how long it took for you. I believe it was level 4. You had a tough time in level 4. It was pretty much a full clear for you, but again, that power bracelet on level 6, that was the jackpot for you. That ended up being the winning item to gain access, as Paratroopa now has his power bracelet out of level 6.
Yeah, just one of those right order seeds. If you find the items, then they fall, and that's going to happen in any of these randomizers. If you happen to find that right item in the right level, any of these things can fall, especially with the Second Quest Overworld here, where you're much more likely to need Power Bracelet or Recorder in order to find some of the dungeons. So, whew.
Wow, and Crimson just let us know in chat that the item in level 6 was a room away from the Triforce. And again, as you mentioned, right orders. I mean, if you would have found the item room before the Triforce, oof, this could have been a very different race, Fred.
Oh, completely agreed. I mean, as you said, they were pretty much next door to each other, and it just came down to, I think I just said, let me just check 1 or 2 more rooms. I don't know how many more rooms I would have checked if it had been, 3 rooms away. As you said, would have been a very different story there. I know it's part of the reason I did dig in Death Mountain was I had the Recorder and Power Bracelet both, so I said, I can full clear Death Mountain and not leave anything behind. I was trying to make sure I routed my overworld to try to minimize double dips to areas.
Yes, indeed, because Paratroopa was the first to go into level 9. TG, your thoughts?
No, most of the thoughts that I wanted to ask about Fred touched on, but Fred, I do have a question I want to ask you. So we see the old men here, or in this case the Octoroks over on Paratroopa side. We have the domesticated chocobos. Do we also have wild chocobos here in Hyrule?
Yeah, there may be some. There's some that have been hidden away in some of the levels. We've been trying to actually get in there to clear them out. I mean, think about it. That's what all the saving the animals is meant to do, to try to domesticate them and let you out. But nothing quite yet. It'd be interesting to make an item like that might, increase your speed or something to let you maybe move faster. Wonder if that would give a actual use to the boomerang. Change Link's walking speed. Okay, maybe we'll have to add this.
I mean, it's not like it's something we don't already have in other Zelda games, right?
That's true.
Paratroopa was checking the raft spots. Unfortunately, the one on the East Coast only had a bomb shop, but he was able to fill up on his explosives there. And it looks like Paratroopa's going to head for level 3. He's going to find his book here. Again, we're down to just 2 items. That's one of the items in level 9, and the Lord Banana, which could either be a 9 or 7. Any key is the other item, too.
Yep, and Para's going to have to be very careful here, speaking of keys, only with the 1.
Yeah, so resource management definitely coming back into play again. Well, this is a very, very intriguing race. Both of you had your 5 Triforce pieces, and neither one of you knew the location of level 9. That very rarely happens in Pentaforce flags, or any flags for that matter.
You're going to explore around and try to find things. There's my hint that the wand was in 1. You try to explore the dungeons when you find them. Usually you find level 9, or you find a couple of levels that you might say, yeah, no, I don't want to dip into that, and you back away. But definitely, in some of these cases, you're going to find that level 9, and when you find level 9, you can already run right in and fight away.
Gliok returns with the ladder. That is old news for us, as Fred's going to check these hint shops just for the curiosity of people here in the studio audience. Aquamentus awaits with the wand, as we knew that was one of the items in level 1.
Yeah, unfortunately, I never found the other hint shop, so I can't double-check that one, but...
Yep, we never found where the other hint shop was either. I don't think Paratroopa found the other hint shop either. For all we know, it might have been the other raft spot, it might have been a power bracelet spot we missed, might have been a recorder spot we missed. I tell you what, Fred, you have been playing lights out the last few nights here on the Zelda Randomizer, winning the big race here during the weekly showcase a couple nights ago, and now advancing to the winner's round of 16, boy. You're going to be a tough competitor to face when some of these big guns come at you.
And yet, at the same time, I'm sitting here terrified because I'm looking at the potential big names there. For example, next round, now that I've gotten through here, I've faced against RC Drone, who is beyond phenomenal in terms of gameplay. Vanilla game has taken over that one. I believe is in second place right now on the boards there, only like 10 seconds behind world record. You know, any of these randomizer games, he comes in and he's lights out. I've played him once or twice before. I think I beat him the one time that we faced in a tournament setting, but that was also, I want to say, in the very first randomizer tournament, and, you know, he basically tore it up after that point, and still beat me into level 9. I just got the right turn in level 9. So,
yes,
you know, he is a
and I remember that race.
Yeah, he is a force to be reckoned with. He has proven time and time again he deserves to be, you know, among the very top, if not the top runners in this. And so playing against him is going to be an incredible challenge. I'm looking forward to it, but I'm also terrified beyond wit's end.
Well, you keep playing the way you've been playing, Fred Coughlin, who knows? Could be one of those very exciting races where it could come down once again to one turn in level 9. And if it does turn out to be you versus RC Drone, we could pretty much guarantee it's going to be one heck of a race. You definitely want to get some popcorn for it.
Wait, popcorn? We make the whole talk about killing Danny and getting bacon. Why can't we bring pork rinds?
Why not? Sounds good to me. Popcorn and bacon rinds. I love it. Or pork rinds, rather.
Yeah, but Amazing Toaster in chat bring up a fantastic point about the level of skill that RC Drone has. Toaster played against Drone in Swiss. Toaster put up a time of 46 minutes and lost.
And that 46 TGE is going to win about 99% of the races. I mean, that just goes to show how good Drone is in routing. I mean, we know how good he is in Vanilla Zelda. He's only about 10 seconds back of Black Attack's world record, but his routing is one of the best in the business. I mean, I can only name a handful of runners that route as good as RC Drone. Obviously, Crystal Saver is one of them. You know, Random Effect routes pretty darn good. You route pretty darn good, Fred, I must say.
Well, thank you. But as I said, you know, he's got that combination of skill, routing, you know, the sheer knowledge on the drops, which he can easily keep track of with his amazing capability for tracking global. So, you know, bombs are almost never a problem for him, so it's never going to be a case of level, you know, very rarely going to be a case of him wandering around level 9 saying, okay, I need to have, you know, I need to get force a bomb, how do I do this? You know, it's almost instant there, the just sheer level of skill that he has. So it's going to be a hard fight. You know, obviously I'm going to put the best fight I can up, but it's not going to be a easy fight. And, you know, the 51 that we put up tonight, as you were saying, you know, Toaster was saying in chat, you know, that time's good. Drone could easily come in well under that, you know, on the seed or any other seed. So it really comes down. It's just going to be a slugfest, and hopefully it'll be a good one.
Paratroopa finding the final take Eddie K behind that power bracelet spot. He's got a what he thinks is a 60% chance of picking up the magical sword. We know it's only a 50% chance because, Fred, as you know, you checked the magical sword since it was on your way out of that one level, that level 7. Unfortunately, 10 hearts was enough. Obviously, you didn't need the magical sword, but we'll see if Paratroopa stumbles upon it because he's still looking for level 2.
And also a real quick programming note here, everybody. Starting over on Speed Gaming 1 right now, we've got another one of our bracket races. We've got Jay Coper versus JLo7. So I'm not telling you to leave us here, because I don't want that. What I'm telling you is pop in that address bar, go to multitwitch.com/speedgaming4/speedgaming, and get both of them on your screen so you can have all the Zelda 1 randomizer action that you can handle.
Absolutely, TG, and that's an exciting race. We have Jayco and JLo. This is an amazing race. Here's the other hint, Shab, and they're expensive. A feat of strength will lead to the silver arrows, and Paratroopa wishes he had that hint about 30 minutes ago.
But that is good for his routing now because there's only so many power bracelet spots he has left, and I'm pretty sure the only ones that he hasn't explored at this point are the ones over in the grave area and Death Mountain.
Right you are there, TG. Paratroopa going to check vanilla level 1 right now.
I think this might just be, yep.
Oh, that's
because
right.
That's
yes.
where the Any Road is.
Right
Yep.
you are, TG. By the way, I do want to give a shout out to, you were talking about how RC Drone has the second fastest time. I want to give a shout out to Cantaloupe Me last night, putting up that 28:47 to go into 4th place. So props to him. who's, by the way, also in the bracket stages of the tournament. He's up against Karakarn VI this weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. And while we're doing our shout-outs here, I've already mentioned the lovely Crunchy Chocobo once, but let's give her some more love again. Keeping track of all these Triforces, especially when we don't have any level indicators, is extremely difficult to do. And you're listening to us ramble on, I think it's 4, I think it's 5, I think it's 7, and you're just like, I just want to push buttons. So, again, big shout-outs to Crunchy Chocobo behind the scenes. Thank you very much, my dear.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a tough job, but somebody's got to do it. And yeah, when you get to these rounds of the bracket stage, this takes us back to our very first tournament where we were all playing Name That Level. And it's going to be honest, I've been doing commentary now for approaching 2.5 years. I still don't know the level layouts. I mean, I run this game, the vanilla game, but of course, when you run the vanilla game, you know the maps like the back of your hand, but you don't really study those maps. At least I don't study those maps.
No, and if you go back to the first tournament, if we were entering from the bottom row, it's a whole lot easier to distinguish levels from the bottom row because, for example, level 8's the only one with four rooms across the bottom row. Level 5, you enter way off the far right. Level 7's the only one you enter in the far left. So there are definitely things if you enter from the bottom row that are much easier to pick up on than you can enter any place there's a perimeter spot.
Yeah, absolutely. And during those days, yeah, it was easier for us to determine that. And yeah, the big ones were levels 1 and 8, 5 on the right side, as you said. So yeah, absolutely. But we get with these new, and I'll tell you what, Fred, I like the idea of starting anywhere that is touching an edge to start off a dungeon, because you definitely now need to know those dungeon layouts. And if you're not pausing to check what level it is that you picked up the Triforce for, you may confuse yourself rather easily.
Oh yeah, and that's part of the reason we put that into the tournament as a option as we were considering things. The option itself came just because of a conversation. People had wanted to see if maybe we could move the entrance around, and I'd always figured out with the way that things were laid out in memory, it would either be the top or the bottom. But someone just said something to me one night, it may have been Krim, and all of a sudden I was like, oh wait, what if I do this? And just did a Coding with Fred session on my stream, and next thing about 4 hours later, we had a mostly bug-free version of that. There were still a few kinks that we had to work out over some of the beta testing, but then added that level entrances. And I remember a few of the people, 8gen in particular, coming out and saying that this is actually going to be shapes, it's okay, but the level shape is random anyway, so you don't necessarily know where you're coming in from. But if you're coming in on the vanilla ones, all of a sudden it can change the game dramatically. I mean, add ladder blocks in 4 where in the past you might have been ladder blocked on the bottom, now you're ladder blocked up at the top half. The T can potentially help with the ladder blocks and stuff, and it's definitely changes the game and throws you off, especially with the level names hidden where you'd be coming in. So it's definitely a ton of fun, and as I said, I've been enjoying how it's been turning out here.
And I'm assuming, based on the nature of level 9, having the Triforce requirements, I'm assuming you can't move the start of where level 9 can be.
Potentially at some point here, there's a few places in memory where the old man who blocks you, his room, is in places in memory, so it would take a case of trying to hunt down and relocate that room as well. And so right now, I'm leaving it hard-coded where it is just for simple mental sanity's sake, but maybe at some point here we'll take a look into trying to move that room around as well.
Yeah, I could totally see level 9 starting on the bottom left side of the skull instead of the bottom right side.
Yeah, as I said, the main issue is, again, there's certain things in place. It's just mainly
we have a Wallmaster bringing Paratroopa back to the beginning of level 9 right when he was right next to where Ganon is, too.
That's brutal. And he's down to 1.5 hearts as well, so he's going to have to make that trek all the way again. Tough break there for Paratroopa. But I tell you what, make sure you give both of our runners a follow, Fred Coughlin and Paratroopa1, because they were tremendous tonight. They played exceptionally well. And remember, Paratroopa is not out of it yet. He will go to the bonus bracket, so who knows? These two could meet again later on in the tournament. And if they do, I expect it to be another thrilling race.
Completely agreed. Paratroopa is an incredibly talented runner here, very good at this game, so obviously make sure you give him a follow. He has done a ton of good play. Again, he and I have played now a couple of times here in the bracket phases, but they're all really close, and in this case, it just ended up being I took that one turn and got the power bracelet, and he didn't, and that's what caused the game. If we switch those two, he crushes me. If we both have that power bracelet, probably would have been an incredibly close race. So, there's no slouches in this tournament. Paratroopa could easily make a really strong run in the bonus bracket, and I could easily see us ending up against each other at some point in the future.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. As I mentioned during the closing weeks of the Swiss rounds, we get to these bracket stages, there's going to be, there's the any key in level 9, so the only item we never found, TGE, for His Highness yourself.
Well, what's funny is I've got the IRC up right now, and as Paratroopa walked into that room finding the any key, he types into the IRC. It's tempting to go on a quest to find the boomerang right now. It's just teasing me just a little bit.
And of course, it's behind 33 rooms of pure madness, so it's only appropriate that the wooden boomerang, Lord Banana, His Highness himself, is in level 7.
But with that bomb, Paratroopa's going to find exactly where he needs to be. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages.
Here's Ganon! So we're looking for 6 hits, because this was a low HP Ganon. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Down goes Ganon. We've got crunchy, crispy bacon and the Triforce of Power. Just needs to backtrack to that Paratroopa1 room, and Paratroopa will finish in a very healthy time. It's going to win a lot of races, just that one decision ended up being the difference.
Yeah, absolutely. Make our way through the Patra. The up A is going to get us our health back, so we can just clear on tank through, and that is going to do it. Paratroopa are going to go ahead and finish with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 10 minutes, and 38 seconds.
And again, Paratroopa played really, really well. I mean, his early routing was just fantastic. I mean, both of your routings were really, really good. Paratroopa, the first one to find level 9, first one to find the bow, but in the end, yep, power bracelet, that piece of jewelry, ended up being king for this particular race. But again, we haven't seen the last of Paratroopa. He'll go to the bonus bracket, and I got a feeling he's going to make a lot of noise when he gets to those rounds. He's going to be back, folks.
Yep, and as a scheduling note here, in addition to the match we have going on right now over on Speed Gaming 2, my bad, according to what I'm reading here, we also have another match tomorrow at 9:30 Eastern Time. We've got X-Ice Blue going up against Random Effect.
Ooh, that's a very intriguing matchup, because I know that X-Ice Blue has been on the up and coming. Random Effect, we know how good he's been. He's had a #1 seed in randomizer tournaments in the past, so I think that's a very intriguing matchup, and to be honest, could very well be anybody's game. As I've said, there's no slouches when it comes to these bracket stage matches. You got to earn these wins.
Yeah, absolutely, and we're going to be joined here momentarily by a Paratroopa, so it's going to be nice to hear his thoughts on how easily the beginning of this seed came together, and then, like Pentaforce has a tendency to do, just sort of all collapse on top of you afterwards.
Yeah, it's just the nature of the Pentaforce flags. Again, I've done a lot of commentary so far in this tournament. I've yet to see both the bow and the silver arrow be in level 9. I mean, Paratroopa was he actually didn't even gamble. He didn't go for the second item. He went ahead and just ducked out a level 9, which again was the correct play. It's just he didn't pick the right level. And with that, we do have Paratroopa1 here on the commentator's booth. GG, you put up a very respectable time, and I know you're a little disappointed in the result of the match, but I got to tell you, you played really, really well. You were, believe it or not, the first to enter level 9, but it came down to that power bracelet.
I knew I was. Definitely knew I was the first into 9, but didn't find the power bracelet, so I didn't find the silver arrows, and that was just kind of it.
Yeah, good job. Yeah, I was kind of the opposite. I apparently found the power bracelet early, stayed on the west side of Hyrule, didn't find level 9 until well after I had the 5 Triforces, and, you know, then just got lucky that the bow was sitting right there in the second room or whatever it was.
Yeah, I didn't even find the bow in 9 until I found every other staircase except for the other item, because I just didn't go left when I went in, I went up. If I went left and found the bow right away, I probably would have left 9, but I went and found Ganon and Zelda anyway, so it didn't really matter that much.
Yeah, you needed to get to map it out.
Yeah, so I don't know, it would have been a little faster if I found the bow, because I just would have left right away. But I still, at that point, I still had level 2, 3, 5, 6, and 7 items to find. I hadn't found level 2 or 7 at all, because I didn't find the power bracelet in 6. Because I got the Triforce in 6 and just left. And of course the power bracelet was one room to the north of it, because of course it was. So that was kind of the end at that point. Wasn't really anything I could do considering I left the power bracelet. Everything after that just became moot.
Yeah, and you know, just for your information, if you were curious, level 7 was at the potion shop where it would be in first quest, where Spectacle Rock is. Level 9.
Ah, okay.
But to tell you what, it could have been anybody's race. It just so happens you needed that one item early on, and Fred made the decision to delve it out. You didn't, and sometimes hitting the Gamble-matic 9000 pays off. Sometimes it doesn't. Unfortunately, it didn't pay off this time around, but of course, you're not out of the tournament yet. You do go into the bonus bracket, and I'm going to tell you what, these runners need to watch out. You play really, really well, so it's definitely not over yet for you. So I do wish you the best of luck coming up in your next upcoming matches.
Yeah, whoever got seen in the losers bracket round 1 got a really bad draw. That's unfortunate for them.
No, man, but you know what? I am looking at that bonus bracket right now. We have already had the top 2 seeds fall during the winners bracket round of 32. We had the number 2 seed Chatty get defeated, and then we had Adaginos get taken down by Breasticle. But of course, lest we forget, as low as a ranking that BT has, I mean, BT's a really good runner, but he had to fight and claw his way to the bracket stages, because early on, you know, he had a very difficult gauntlet, and that's going to happen sometimes when it comes to these matchups.
Yeah, Adaginos is going to be in my path if I win a couple of games. I would end up facing him. We'll see if that happens.
Yes, we will see indeed. So anything can happen as we get down to the more later stages of the bracket rounds. But again, I still think you're going to be a force to be reckoned with coming up. So I wouldn't lose hope just yet. You've got a lot of good Zelda Randomizer playing you. So again, I wish you the best of luck coming up in your next match. And of course, Fred Coughlin, you're moving on to the round of 16, and I wish you the best of luck in your next match as well.
Well, thank you, and best of luck to you, Paratroopa. I definitely feel like, again, you're an incredibly strong player, so I'm going to hope to see you get a good run there, hopefully run into you in the finals. Let's go with that plan.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
All right, I have no other questions for you guys. TG, do you have any other questions?
Yeah, why didn't you take the time to go dig out the banana? Seriously.
Oh gosh, I had to go find level 7 and then explore all of level 7, and like, we don't want to be here all night.
No, 7 was actually the open cave in Death Mountain.
I wanted to, I went for the item in 9 just to see if it was the boomerang, and it wasn't, so,
Nope, but with that, I believe we are going to be all set here. So on behalf of both of our runners at the fcoughlin and Paratroopa1, our lovely tracker behind the scenes, Crunchy Chocobo, and my broadcast partner, LSZ Cards Fan 23, thank you all very much for watching, and I'm the Greenleaf Effect reminding you to, of course, keep hailing.
So long, everybody. Have a great rest of your week.